It has been such a lovely long summer, but I have to admit I'm a little bit sad that it's coming to an end.
I know what you mean. It feels like the summer holidays just flew by. Soon it will be autumn, and the days will start to get shorter and colder.
I feel like I need one more little adventure before the winter arrives. I would love to go away for a few days, just to have something to look forward to.
That is a fantastic idea. I have been thinking the exact same thing. I have some holiday days left that I need to use before the end of the year.
Me too. What do you think? Should we plan a short trip together? Maybe for a week in October.
I would absolutely love that. A little autumn holiday sounds like the perfect plan. It would be so nice to get away and experience a change of scenery.
Great! I'm so glad you are on board. So now for the fun part. Where in the world should we go? Okay, so we have decided to go on a one-week holiday together in October. The big question is, where? Do you have any initial ideas?
We need to choose a destination that is good to visit in the autumn. And since we only have 1 week, it should probably be somewhere in Europe, not too far away from Austria.
I agree. We don't want to spend 2 whole days just traveling. I was thinking we could do a city break. We could visit a beautiful European city like Prague or Budapest.
A city break is a good idea. Lots of history, museums, and good food. That is definitely one option.
What other options are there? Do you have a different idea?
I was thinking of something a little bit different. Instead of a busy city, we could do something more focused on nature. October is a beautiful month in the mountains. The air is fresh and all the trees are changing color.
A nature-focused holiday? You mean like a hiking trip?
Exactly. I was thinking we could go to the mountains. Maybe the Italian Dolomites. They are not too far from here, and the scenery is supposed to be absolutely breathtaking in the autumn.
So, we have 2 very different ideas on the table. A cultural city break in Prague or an active hiking holiday in the Italian Dolomites.
Both sound like wonderful trips. We need to decide which one we would prefer to do this time.
Let's think about the pros and cons of each. A city break would be very exciting. There is so much to see and do, but it can also be a little bit tiring, with a lot of walking on hard pavements and visiting crowded places.
That is true. And after a busy year at work, maybe a more relaxing and peaceful holiday would be better for us.
I think you are right. The idea of being outdoors in nature, breathing fresh mountain air, sounds incredibly appealing right now.
And the autumn foliage in the mountains is something truly special. The colors of the leaves, the reds, oranges, and yellows are just stunning. It would be so beautiful for taking photographs.
You have convinced me. A hiking holiday sounds like the perfect way to relax and recharge our batteries. Let's choose the Dolomites.
The Italian Dolomites it is. I am so excited. This is going to be a fantastic trip. Now, we need to start planning the practical details. First, how are we going to get there?
That's a good question. The Dolomites are in the north of Italy. What are our options for travel from here in Austria?
We have two main options, I think. We could take the train, or we could drive.
What do you think is better? Taking the train is usually very relaxing. You can just sit back and look out of the window and enjoy the scenery.
That is true, and it is also better for the environment. Let me just check the journey time online. It looks like the train journey would take about 6 to 7 hours with a couple of changes.
That's not too bad. What about driving? How long would that take?
The drive is a bit shorter. It would probably take around 4 to 5 hours. The big advantage of driving our own car is the flexibility it would give us when we are there.
That is a very good point. If we have our car, we can easily drive to the start of different hiking trails each day or visit different villages in the area. With the train, we would have to rely on local buses.
I think for a hiking holiday, having a car is a huge advantage. I am happy to do most of the driving.
In that case, let's decide to drive.
Okay, so we are going to drive to the Dolomites for 1 week in October. The next big question is, where are we going to stay?
We need to find some accommodation. I will look on a booking website now. What kind of place should we look for?
We could stay in a hotel. That would be very comfortable. We would have our room cleaned every day, and we could have breakfast in the hotel restaurant.
A hotel is a good option. Another option is a self-catering apartment. That would give us our own kitchen, so we could cook some of our own meals.
That could be a good way to save some money. What other options are there?
In the mountains in Austria and Italy, a very popular option is to stay in a traditional guest house, which is called a Gasthof. They are often family-run, very cozy, and have a very authentic atmosphere.
A guest house sounds wonderful. I love the idea of staying in a traditional, family-run place. It feels much more personal than a big hotel chain.
Me too. And they usually have a fantastic restaurant that serves local, homemade food. Let's filter our search for guest houses in a small mountain village. It will be the perfect base for our hiking adventures. This is going very well. We have our destination, our travel method, and our accommodation type. Now, let's talk about the main activity of our holiday, hiking.
Yes, I am so looking forward to walking in the mountains. I need to get my hiking boots out of the cupboard and make sure they are still in good condition.
Good idea. Having comfortable, waterproof hiking boots is the most important piece of equipment. Now, what kind of hiking do we want to do?
I am in reasonably good shape, but I am not a professional mountaineer. I don't want to be climbing up any vertical cliffs.
Me neither. We should look for hiking trails that are suitable for our fitness level. We should look for trails that are described as easy or moderate. We should probably avoid any that are described as difficult or challenging.
I agree completely. I want to enjoy the views and the nature, not to feel like I am in a survival competition.
I'm looking at a map of the hiking trails in the region now. There are hundreds of them. We can choose a few different routes for our trip. Maybe a 3-hour walk one day and a longer 5-hour walk the next day.
So, we will spend most of our days hiking in the beautiful mountains.
That sounds perfect. But we should also plan some other activities, right?
Yes, of course. A good holiday is all about balance. We should have a mix of active days and more relaxing days.
I agree. On one of the days, I think it would be nice to just have a very lazy day. We could explore the little village where we are staying and have a long, leisurely lunch at a local restaurant.
A rest day is a fantastic idea. It will give our legs a chance to recover. We can try some of the local Italian food and wine.
And I was just looking at some pictures of the Dolomites online. There are some incredibly beautiful lakes in the area. Have you seen the pictures of Lago di Braies?
Yes, it's a famous lake with bright blue, crystal clear water and a beautiful old boathouse. It's surrounded by dramatic mountain peaks.
It looks like a postcard. We should definitely plan a visit to that lake one afternoon. We could walk around it and take some amazing photos.
Absolutely. So, we have a great mix of activities, challenging hikes, relaxing rest days, and beautiful sightseeing.
Our plan is becoming very detailed. It feels like the holiday is already getting closer. This is making me think about another practical topic: what we need to pack.
That's a good thing to think about in advance. I am a terrible packer. I always either pack too much or forget something essential.
The most important thing to remember when packing for a mountain holiday is to bring layers of clothing.
Layers. What do you mean by that?
It means that instead of one big, thick coat, it is better to wear several thinner layers of clothes. For example, a t-shirt, then a long-sleeved shirt, then a warm fleece, and then a waterproof jacket on top.
Ah, I see. So if you get too warm when you are hiking uphill, you can just take off one layer.
Exactly. The weather in the mountains can change very quickly. It can be sunny one moment and then cold and rainy the next. Layers help you to adapt. So a waterproof and windproof jacket is an essential item.
I will definitely pack that. What else is important?
We will need comfortable trousers for hiking, warm socks, a hat, and gloves. And even though it is autumn, the sun can still be very strong at high altitudes, so we must not forget to pack sunscreen.
This is a very professional holiday plan. We have thought about the destination, the travel, the accommodation, the activities, and even what to pack. Is there anything else?
There is one final, very important, but perhaps a little boring topic that we need to discuss.
And what is that?
We need to talk about the budget for the trip. We should agree on a rough idea of how much we want to spend so that we are both on the same page.
You are right. That is a very sensible conversation to have. A holiday can get very expensive if you are not careful.
So, let's try to estimate the main costs. First, the accommodation. I am looking at the guest houses online, and a nice double room for 6 nights will be around €500 in total.
So that's 250 euros each. That sounds very reasonable. What about the travel costs?
We will need to pay for the fuel for the car. I think that will be around €100 for the round trip, so €50 each.
Okay. And then we need to think about food and spending money for things like ski lifts or entrance fees. How much should we budget for that?
I think if we budget around €50 per day each for food and other expenses, that should be more than enough. So that's €300 each for the week. In total, our holiday will cost about €600 each. Are you comfortable with that budget?
Yes, that sounds like a very fair and realistic budget for a one-week trip.
This has been the most productive coffee meeting ever. I feel like we have planned our entire holiday in the space of an hour.
We have. It's amazing what you can achieve when you are organized. Let's do a final summary of our fantastic plan.
Okay, so in the second week of October, we are going to drive to the Italian Dolomites for a one-week hiking holiday.
We are going to stay in a traditional, cozy guest house in a small mountain village.
We will spend our days doing moderate hiking trails and enjoying the beautiful autumn scenery. And we will also have some relaxing days to visit a lake and enjoy the local food.
We know what clothes we need to pack, and we have agreed on a total budget of around €600 each for the trip.
The plan is complete and it is perfect. I am so incredibly excited now. This is going to be such an amazing adventure.
Me too. The only thing left to do is to make it official. I have found a guest house that has excellent reviews and looks perfect for us. Should we book it now?
Yes, absolutely. Let's book the accommodation tonight. Then it will be 100% confirmed. Thank you for planning this with me. I can't wait.